Welcome, Spartans, to Mission Debrief. We've played every mission of the mainline Halo video games, and now we're playing every mission from the rest of the games in the franchise in chronological order. Each episode will be discussing our experiences and sprinkling in a little lore along the way. If you'd like to play along and have your thoughts spread on the show, email us at podcastevolved@gmail.com or drop us a tweet at podcastevolved on Twitter. We'll be playing the 130 mission from Halo Wars 2 on the next episode. If you like what you hear and want to support the show, visit Podcast Evolved on Patreon. You can also receive a free audiobook trial by visiting audibletrial.com/podcastevolved. This episode, we're debriefing the Ascension mission from Halo Wars 2. I'm your host, Colin Perkins, alongside David Arnold.
Hello, everybody.
And Krista Brown.
No more prophets. No more lies. We stand together, brothers to the end.
That should be our new motto.
Something has happened.
Something has happened. Last mission in A New Enemy, Isabel reluctantly issued Cutter and the Spirit of Fire crew a report about the threat they discovered on Installation 00. With the Banished's imposing force already dug into the Ark, and she'd suggested the only way to survive was to run. Never one to back down from a fight, Cutter fired up his crew with a rousing speech and deployed Spartan Jerome back to the surface to set up a firebase near the location of one of Atriox's lieutenants. After encroaching on his location, Decimus confronted the UNSC in his powerful combat exoskeleton, rained plasma down on the battlefield, and then made a tactical retreat. In Ascension, sifting through the ashes of the Banished salvage operation, the UNSC discovers a way to access the Ark's Cartographer. We've heard that before, Cartographer. Jerome 092 and a group of special forces are sent to a location near an elevator that can be used to access the room that holds Installation 00's secrets. However, just like back in Etrin Harborage, the team discovers the Forerunners don't like outsiders meddling with their super toys. The date of the game is March 28th, 2559. David, why don't you take us, there's no cutscene now. We may not get a cutscene for a little bit, so just hold on that. But we do still get this dialogue before, each mission that provides a little bit more, about what we're about to do. And then there's kind of the lead up in this mission before we actually really dig in and start, building our forces.
Yeah, so this is kind of the stuff that happens on the loading screen while you're loading into the mission. Mm-hmm. And I always listen to it and kind of let it play out. Because I know that I've noticed... Well, it's one of the things I kind of noticed today, that on my old Xbox, I would listen to the whole thing through and still wait for the mission to load. But on my One X, it's ready to load way faster. Right. And the guys are still talking. I'm like, I can play the mission, or I can listen. So that's just something I noticed there, today when I was playing.
I have the same issue. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
And because it gives that buzzes, right? It gives it a little buzz, like, the mission's ready. If you want to go fight some stuff.
It's like, no, they're talking. It would be rude.
Right.
But even so, that's a good use of a loading screen, to kind of intro you to a mission. Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty cool. So it's pretty much a quick conversation between Cutter, Isabel, and Anders. They're just kind of telling you, as I think the player / Jerome, I guess, is kind of the way you are. You got some intelligence from Decimus' base that you took over from that previous mission. The Banished are using something called the Cartographer. The Cartographer is a thing on every... It seems it's not just Halo specific, it's also now, installation thing. It's pretty much a map room. It's a list of everything that's on the installation. So as you think, you're going to want to know what's there. The Cartographer of the Ark would be a pretty powerful location. Mm-hmm. Of course, you'd want to do it there. So Atriox could use it to locate key systems and weapons on the installation, as Isabel said. So Anders is pretty much like I found the way there. It's not going to be easy. There's a lot of defenses, but we have to take this elevator. So pretty much it introduced a new kind of game mechanic, which is taking over specific locations that give you these what they call like domination points. Is that kind of what it is?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's
control
like
nodes, I think they call them.
Yeah. There's like you have to like dominate the map by getting a certain number of points and stuff like that. So that's just the lore of how it introduces this mission mechanic. So.
And that's a multiplayer mode, the domination. So they're kind of introducing you to that mode, through this mission.
Cool. So, Cutter is just like, we have to take it. We have to take it before they realize that we know the information. So let's hit the Banished now fast. That's pretty much when the mission begins. And
let me. Oh, go ahead. I was just going to take you through the objectives, but go ahead. Yeah,
right before you do that, when the mission starts, I thought it was pretty cool that it's you coming out on a pelican dropped off on a beach on a mission that's about the Cartographer, and I was like, oh yes,
I noticed that as well.
Give me those vibes. Thought that was cool.
It's a cool callback. It's really great.
Yeah, I did notice that. That's a good call. All right, so let me run through the objectives, and I'll toss it back to David, and he kind of walk us through the beginnings of the mission. So objectives now. Also it says there's a scouting report line in that initial loading screen, and it says Hornets are on standby at the Spirit of Fire, ready to counter any enemy heavy armor. So, as a little hint, we get some Hornets this time, which will be good. So the objectives, there's a bunch of them. We'll just run through them all. Gain access to the Cartographer, the main objective. Reactivate the light bridge, which David will talk about in a little bit. Hijack the Wraith. Clear the area of banished troops. Establish a forward base. Build a supply pad, generator, and air pad. Capture the control towers, I guess they're called control towers, and then secure the elevator entrance is the final main objective. Optional objectives are destroy the hidden facilities for structures. We'll mention that in a little bit. Destroy the Banished 3 vehicle foundries. Destroy the Banished base. That's a fun little thing to do. Then the bonus objectives are destroy 20 vehicles with a Cyclops, kill 20 squads with a hijacked vehicle, destroy 20 vehicles with Hornets, and then use the Archer missile leader powers 3 times. I think we talked about it last time because I was frustrated with all the bonus objectives. The bonus objectives are really like kind of more teaching you how to play the game. Like Cyclops are good against vehicles, so you should do that. You can hijack vehicles with the Spartan and then use it against the Banished to do that too, right? So all this sort of stuff is like, oh, hey, you should be trying to do all these other things because that'll just kind of help enrich the game for you. Part time is 20 minutes, although the strategy guide says 40 minutes again, so they've made some change there along the way. Scoring goals, again, game doesn't really care what you score. All it cares is if you get a gold eventually at some point during one of your playthroughs. But gold is 75,000, silver is 35 to 74, then bronze is 13 to 34. There are 2 skulls that we get on this mission. Once you destroy that main Banished base, which is one of the optional objectives, you take that out, you unlock Paintball, which is marine grenades and grunt mines splatter the environment with color.
That's cool.
Yeah, I haven't enabled that yet, but since I did get that skull, I want to try it in the next mission. And that one's a non-scoring skull. And then the other one is destroy the hidden base, which is kind of behind where you start to build your own base.
You can see it on the map. It's like an island.
Yep, little island. You just take your Hornets over there and go, wreck shop. So destroy that, and there's 4 buildings over there. Once you do that, you unlock Pain Train. And in Pain Train, all player units train 50% faster, which I think was a carryover. I don't know if it's called the same thing, but that was a carryover from Halo Wars. But then that's the final score decreases when you use that skull. So you can get your units up and running faster, but your score is not going to be as good. All right, Krista, what's on the battlefield this time?
Oh, we got so many things on the battlefield this time because they give us an actual functioning base, which is nice. We have only Jerome because Alice is hiding on the Ark and Douglas is dead. And then we have... Jerome
he can hijack. He can hijack stuff, which I mentioned before, but he can't hijack. He can't hijack UNSC vehicles. I did try that.
Oh.
That's what I was going to ask because I totally forgot to do. I was thinking about that. So I was like, oh, I wonder, can you hijack your own vehicles in this game?
Nope, apparently not.
Cannot.
Boo. Anyway, we also have a fire base. We start with the headquarters. We have regular units out of the fire base, so we have Marines, and you can upgrade them with a grenade throw. We have different structures. We have the supply pad that you can now upgrade. Thank God. The generator can't be upgraded yet. Boo. Nope. Though you don't need the generator stuffs for much. We have the barracks, which brings us Hellbringers and Cyclopses. Now they're not useless anymore.
They're not.
You can actually use them.
Can you build Cyclops?
Yeah.
In the barracks.
I totally missed that.
Because I think in Halo Wars it was out of the base before.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, once you build a barracks, which you don't really need. I mean, you do need ground units to capture the different control points. You can't just do that with your
you can use
vehicles.
Jerome for that.
Yeah, but Marines come out of your main base this time. Yeah. I totally forgot to go look at the barracks.
Yeah.
My bad.
And so now they're just anti-vehicle instead of being like melee and repair thingies. That didn't work very well.
They were anti-building.
Oh, anti-building. Yeah, that didn't work
yeah,
very
but
well.
that's still like they went and punched the building, so it's kind of melee, I guess.
I'm gonna try that next
they were
time.
weird before.
Next time the building pisses me off. You know what?
Let's go punch it.
They shoot it. They do pretty good damage versus buildings. Because I was using Hornets and they were doing nothing, and I pulled up 2 Cyclopses and they wrecked shop on buildings.
Yeah, they're much better. They're much more useful now.
Yeah.
All right, and then we get a garage, which just has warthogs in it, which is nice.
Yep.
We like warthogs; they're good.
Yeah, but they're kind of pointless in this
Kind of
mission.
pointless, yeah. They're kind of pointless, but you know,
they're there.
beggars can't be choosers.
Right.
And then we have our air pad, and we have Hornets. They gave us Hornets,
and you can upgrade them.
and you can upgrade them,
Excitement.
which is kind of interesting because you upgrade like the entire air pad instead of upgrading individual vehicles, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a lot of fun stuff to work with.
We do. More stuff.
More stuff. And that's it.
All the stuff.
That's it, except we have Spirit of Fire abilities as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we have more stuff. We have Restoration Drones, we have Archer Missiles, which kind of carry over from Halo Wars 1, and then we have Battle Hardened 1, which units reach veterancy
Yep.
quicker.
Almost.
I can't talk, I'm sorry. I'm only on a podcast, you know.
Veterancy.
No biggie.
Got it.
I can't say it, whatever.
So we mentioned veterancy back in Halo Wars, and that was more or less the longer your units survive, the more things they kill, the harder they are to kill, and the harder they hit, right?
Yes.
There's like a little multiplier. I don't have that. I haven't seen that outlined. It's probably somewhere in the guide, so I can try to dig that up for one of the next missions.
Units get stronger, yo.
Yeah, they get a little number by them. 1, 2, I think 3 is the most that they can get.
I think so. And then I know in Halo Wars 1 you got like a special unit that had 4, but you couldn't attain it on your own.
Oh, yeah. Was that ODSTs?
I think it was.
Yeah.
And then we have some banished units because we have to fight something, right?
Right.
We have no hero units, but they use a lot of hero abilities on you. I got lasered like a million times. It was annoying.
Lasered?
I'm playing on heroic, so I'm not sure if that's a thing in regular.
Oh. Like from the sky?
Yeah, from the sky.
Oh, okay. They didn't do that at normal.
No, where you summon the
definitely
like
not.
the hero power where you summon the laser from the sky and you like move it all over people's units.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
got
That's
hit
good to
like
know.
20 times with that and I was angry.
Oh no.
It's like every time I did something, like tried to capture something, he summoned lasers at me. So
Oh my god, that's
beware the lasers, guys. They hurt.
Yeah.
So that no hero units exactly. We have some ground units. We have grunts and brutes. We have suicide grunts, and we have hunters. Good shit.
Yes. So the grunt, when you do I think it must be called grunts when you generate them from the banished base, but they always come with a brute.
Yeah.
So it's like a couple grunts and one
brute.
brute's like their boss. And then there's the suicide grunts.
Well, we all know when you leave grunts alone, they become suicide grunts.
Yeah. And then these grunts don't have plasma grenades. They have like it looks like their backpack or their methane tank must blow up because you can see it kind of sparkling. If you
It's
see
got the blue sparkle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So maybe it is plasma attached to it or something, but yeah, a little. They're treated a little bit differently in this game.
Hey. And then we have vehicles, choppers, and wraiths. The wraiths you can take over. You can take over the choppers too, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can take over the vehicles with Jerome. And then
I love the design of the wraith, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
all of the
badass.
red shit is so nice. Red's a great color. I'm glad they
Red
chose
spikies. I'm all about it.
Yeah, they look so tough.
And then the only air unit we have is a spirit dropship.
Yeah, that's it. I was sticking through. I played through a couple times. There's no banshees on higher level, right?
No, not that I noticed at least, but no,
Okay.
no banshees. Just,
pretty
just
basic.
lasers.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of lasers.
Yes, lots of lasers. And then lots of places that you need to go around and overtake. But and we mentioned difficulty, and I probably won't continue to mention difficulty, but just once again here, I'll say on easy, the game is asking you to do about 15 actions per minute. On normal, about 30. On heroic, up to 60, and then on legendary, 90. So lots of clicks on legendary. All right, David, take us through once we get dropped off on this beach. What happens then?
It's got a cool intro. I like the missions like that start like this before that just give you a set number of units. It feels kind of more narrative, kind of dynamic when it's just like you have a set mission with a set number of units. I kind of like that a lot. I might have mentioned that before in the first game. But starting off, like you said, you got Jerome, you got 3 Cyclopses, 2 Warthogs, and that's it, isn't it?
Yep.
And some Hornets.
No, you don't. You get Hornets later.
No, they come later. Right. This is cool. So you move up. There's a bit of a speech that kind of Cutter gives of like, I can't put too many units down, so I need the best of the best. And I thought that it would have made more sense if these units started and they had veterancy.
Oh.
That which I thought was going to happen. I was like, oh cool, they're giving you some veteran units. But not at all. They're just regular units. Which I think is kind of missed to me. I thought it would be cool. Maybe a little bit OP in this early stage in the game.
Sure.
But, it would have been cool just to see that. So Cyclopses are immediately way more badass. Like we mentioned before in the first game. So you got 3 of these bad boys, and you just you make your way along a little kind of narrow path. You're kind of just scouting the area out, and nothing really like crazy interesting happens. It kind of teaches you that like, oh, use Cyclopses on vehicles. You know, they do more damage. That's fine. A couple of ghosts and some choppers come at you.
Well,
kind of in-game cutscene.
You explore the area right away, and all of a sudden you find out all these dead Banished.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you find that like some ruins and wreckages, and Isabel is like totally like, oh, what the fuck is that? Whatever can do this is pretty devastating. Like that can wreck the Banished. And Cutter is like, be careful. The enemy of my enemy is not necessarily my friend. And so be cautious coming up through. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of building a little bit of tension. And you eventually come across a Banished base under attack by this swarm of sentinels. It looks really cool, of like just these sentinels in like a kind of hurricane formation, kind of spinning around, attacking.
It made me
cool.
remember later in the game. Gave me flashbacks or flash forwards.
Flash forwards. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it a lot.
There's some of those like weird buildings that you can blow up, but I don't think you get any points for them. You can just do it if you want.
No, they look like weird like crab shells or something.
Yeah.
They're just Banished architecture. They don't hold any nothing.
They're just like, you know what? This place is boring. We need some cool structures and some statues to look at while we're trying to destroy everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's loads of resources scattered around you and pick up as you go along. Different kind of powers.
And definitely do that. That way you're ready for when you have a base finally.
Yeah, and can use some leader powers and stuff. So it kind of leads you then to a light bridge, and then 2 kind of choppers come along. Like I said, you use your Cyclopses to kind of kick their ass and take them out. And then it kind of teaches you a mechanic I totally forgot about, which is that Jerome has like a slam attack.
Oh yeah, he can like.
But
jump.
you can use it. Yeah, use him to like jump and navigate terrain. I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. I totally forgot that they introduced that. And I don't think I remember using it other than like this is a slam attack that goes up and slams down, but it also allows you to hijack vehicles. So you kind of move his drone for a little bit, and you kind of essentially sneak up on a wraith, and the game just kind of sets you up for this is how you take over vehicles. And that's pretty cool. So drone pretty much lived in this wraith for me for the entire mission. You can take him out again, but I didn't really feel the need. And
how gorgeous is the water, by the way? Like this waterfall.
Everything's gorgeous.
So
oh my god.
Yeah.
Every time a mission starts, I'm always like just taken back a little bit of how beautiful the environments are.
Just the look and sound is so good. And
the sounds are really good, yeah.
Yeah. There was like a minute where like you're moving your forces through and like you disturb some bushes and some birds come up, fly away, and like there's all sounds around that, and I thought, oh, that's so cool. That's so dope. So when you get the wraith, you pretty much have to activate the light bridge, bring units across. You then get attacked by some hunters and some ground troops and another wraith. And in this moment, I don't know what happened, but I got wrecked.
Really?
Really fast. Yeah, I don't know if I wasn't paying attention, wasn't using the right units, but like my Warhog's gone, lost the Cyclops. I had 2 Cyclopses left in Jerome. And I was like, fuck.
The hunters hit really hard if you're not ready for them.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I was doing, but my wraiths just got wiped. And from here on then, well, you're pretty quick from here. You kind of move down and you have an area where you can build a base.
Yep.
And that's pretty much where the mission then opens up and becomes a traditional kind of RTS base building.
There's an extractor kind of around the corner before you head down the hill that you can take out. I would imagine that plays into what the AI is using for resources. So I would imagine, again, like we talked about the difficulty, the computer's just way better in the higher difficulties. So especially if you're playing a heroic and legendary, you probably want to take those out. So they're called the augmented extractors, and they look like the little fingers that are like digging into the ground. So take those out. That way that the AI doesn't have that to help build more enemies and whatnot. So take that out and then go around. There was a Phoenix log kind of behind before you cross the light bridge. You can grab a Phoenix log back over there too. But then wind your way around, and as David mentioned, then it's finally revealed that the Sentinels are here, and they're not happy that the Banished are here, so they're defending their turf, as they should be, right? So you see a little bit of that action, and they're taking out a little, they call it a vehicle foundry, right nearby, and that's one of the objectives that you have is to go around the map and take those out. So that's now on the map. You work your way down, and then you get told this is the spot that you need to put down your base, and then you need to. It's like still a little more tutorials. Like, oh, by the way, you need to build a supply pad. Oh, by the way, you need to build a generator.
I hated that. I'm like, I'm just ready to go and start ramping up.
Yeah, especially because you have 6 or 7 pads to deal with now.
Yeah,
it just gives you a headquarters right away. Chris is like, let's go. So take us through your approach, Krista. How did you tackle this one?
So for this one, I did supply pad, generator, airbase, and then supply pads for everything else. Of course.
Okay, so you didn't mess with the barracks or anything, garage, as they call it.
Nah, fuck them. And once in a while, I'd have to.
So harsh. So harsh.
Once in a while, I'd have to summon like one Marine to take over something, and then I just let him die. But I just ramped up, made sure that I had all my supply pads upgraded, started churning out hornets like a crazy person.
The Banished come at your base there's 3 maybe waves that come at you right away?
A little bit. And of course I put turrets down where the Banished were coming from. The turrets have an awful range on them, by the way. Wraiths,
I guess I didn't really notice it that much, but yeah.
On a couple of my bases, Wraiths would just be right out of the range of the turrets and then just destroy my base. Not my main base, but some of the smaller ones. Mm-hmm. Speaking of the smaller base, the first thing I did was go up to the left and get that one small base right there.
The one that you saw, the Forerunner Sentinels take over?
Yeah,
okay.
The one, it has a big dot on it as well. It's like, go here first. Yeah. So I went there first. And I took that over, dropped down. I think I put another supply pad down, and then the turrets and whatever. I took over that power generator that's right above it.
Okay, yep.
And then I took the point. So I took the first point. And then,
so you did the point right away.
Yeah, okay. I took the point right away. And then I was kind of...
Because then as soon as you take the point, then all that means, or that triggers the AI to start going after the points.
Yes.
That was just one of the notes in the strategy guide. It says, so if you can hold off on that and like go around and take out a bunch of Banished if you want, and then finally take a control point, because they won't do anything until then.
Yeah. I didn't even bother waiting.
Sure.
So that happened, and then of course at that point I had been hit by a couple lasers, so I took a couple minutes to kind of turn out some more forces and stuff like that. And of course some of my bases were getting attacked, so I had like 3 Hornets that kind of went between the bases to make sure they're protected.
Okay.
And at that point, they had captured base, the 3rd point, or no, the 2nd point, which is in the middle.
Oh, B.
Yeah,
okay.
B. They had captured B at that point, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so I went over to B, and I got the base right in front of it, and then started just kind of hanging out there, and I got that point, and by that time they had C. And I was like, I don't feel like making a Marine, so I just cleared off all the Banished on the map, and then I just waited for all of my points to go up.
Yeah, that's all you need to do.
Yeah, so I did that. I kept Jerome by point B because I knew that's where the elevator would be.
Okay.
And so once the elevator activated, the game just ended.
So all you did was just hang out with A and B, and that's it?
Yeah.
And you're good?
Yep.
Because, I mean, that's the game. That's domination, right? You only need 2 points.
Yeah.
You need just 1 more point than the enemy, really.
Yeah, like the enemy will still like gain points, but you'll just be gaining points faster.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have 2 points and the enemy can't capture another one, there's no way the enemy can win. So I just kind of sat there. I'm like, I don't even want to bother getting the 3rd point. I guess it'll stop the mission probably faster, but meh. Yeah. Too much effort.
Did you go and get the secret base, like the island thing?
Yeah, I did that pretty much immediately because I saw it and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I had done this before. I probably just didn't remember exactly why I need to go over there. But I'm like, I think I need to go over there. And I went over there and did that.
Yeah. It's kind of silly, but it's also, I think some of this is all teaching you about maps and like exploring and all that sort of stuff too. So, hey, take your Hornets down over there. That's the only way to access it with your Hornets. And then take out those augmented reactors over there.
No knowledge of this.
Yeah. And then there's also like a little structure right nearby your main base. It's got like, it kind of looks like a spoken hub with a bunch of buildings around it. So there's like a main building in the middle, and then a bunch of those little like shell structures all around it. And they never explain what that is. It's just a thing that you can blow up. You don't get any points for blowing it up. There's nothing. It's there, and you can destroy it gloriously. But anyway, the rest, or wait, it was called the Archer missiles. Those you don't get those until you take a point. So then Isabel, I think, chimes in. I think it's Isabel that chimes in and says, "Hey, now these Archer missiles are available for you to use on the battlefield, but that you get points now." And
it's a different mechanic.
Yeah, so I think it probably is because there are so many different leader powers towards the end of the game. Is it gives you like a leader point to then apply to a leader power to unlock them, and then you can upgrade those leader powers as well. And that'll come. We'll talk more about that as we have more leader powers at our disposal. But it gives you the 1 point, and then you do get a 2nd point at some point to unlock that. What was it called? The one that gives you increased veterancy.
Battle hardened.
Yeah, battle hardened. Yeah, did you do that?
It's a passive, right? I think I did it. Yeah, I did it.
I barely touched the leader powers, honestly.
Yeah. Do you remember
I healed a few times.
Do you remember if you got gold, Krista?
I got
holding
silver.
Those 2 spots. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't doing any of the like optional objectives and stuff like that. I'm not really going for gold at this point, but I can if you want me to.
No, I mean, I was just asking because
I can do it. I promise.
Well, you're just accomplishing the mission. The game is really just asking you to accomplish the mission. So I'm interested to see how that goes, and I want to see how that goes on heroic, and then for me on normal, just because I need to get all the optional objectives because I should be able to. It's on normal. I've been trying to tackle all of those, and I was able to do it this time, which was good. But then I did two different runs. I did one run where I did all the optional objectives. I was like meticulous about, at first I went to get I had all my Cyclops to take out all the vehicles, and then I made sure that Jerome was at the forefront of a bunch of fights to take out all the different infantry, so he got that bonus objective. And then separately, I was chipping away at all of them at the same time, but I try to make a point of then getting the Hornets one at the end, because as soon as the Cyclops took out their bonus objective, then I didn't need them anymore, so then I let them die and just built Hornets from there. And so I kind of chipped away at everything slowly. I ended up not taking all the control points so that I could allow myself enough time to get all the optional objectives. Finally got it. I think it took me 35 minutes or something like that, maybe a little longer. I finally took the base at the end, and then I ended up getting a silver. So I did everything the game asked me to on normal, granted, and then I got a silver. And then separately, then I did another run, which I was just okay, I'm just going to beat the mission. I didn't care about the bonus objectives. I did get a couple of the other objectives because those are points. I got the optional objectives. I don't think I got them all. I know I got the Banished base at the very, very end. And then I got the one where you go get all the different foundries around. I don't think I went and got the island on this run. But anyway, I was more efficient. I was quicker. I think I was at 26 minutes, something like that. And I got most of the objectives, not all of the objectives. But then my time score was better, my time bonus and my combat score was bonus, and then I got gold. So it's just weird that it throws all this stuff at you, and all those objectives play into your score, but you don't need them all. You just need enough to then affect your overall multiplier. That's the combat score and the time score. So it's just weird. I think it's a little nicer. This game doesn't care about your score.
I think it allows you to kind of have a better strategy. Because in Halo Wars 1, it was I have to do everything. I have to do every single objective to get gold. And this one allows you to kind of pick and choose and kind of figure out the best path for you to take to get it done as effectively as possible with getting as many objectives that kind of line up with your path. Yep.
But then again, once you get gold, there's no incentive to get gold on the mission in another playthrough. All you really need to do is beat it again on a different difficulty. So when you're thinking about achievements and all that sort of stuff. But I let's see. I did it a couple times. I captured just a couple of the control points. To Chris's point, you only really need 2. You don't need all 3 of them. So I went the right route. So I went up and grabbed C on the top right of the screen. And then the Banished went down and took B. And then I went over to get B and just kind of hung out there for a while. Then they went and grabbed C. Because again, this is one of the runs that I was trying to wait and try to get all my objectives. So I was trying to be kind of slowly get to the higher numbers so that I could get all my all the bonus points. So anyway, I just kind of toggled back and forth between B and C on that run, and then the run that I think the run that I did the fastest, I had A and B. I didn't even care about C at all. So yeah, a couple different ways to do it. David, how did you approach it?
Pretty slowly, to be honest. I took my time. It took me about half an hour to finish the mission. Mm-hmm. I figured that it would trigger a thing the second I capture the first point. So I had units on both before capturing either. In terms of the way, and then I slowly kind of remembered, oh man, I should be taking out the other kind of side objectives for where they pump out the rates. Yeah. So I went kind of hunting and looking for those. So I had 2 small forces kind of moving around the map a bit, just kind of exploring and looking for things. And I kind of forgot that you could kind of build turrets in random places in the missions and little fire bases. Yeah. So I thought that was cool. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of went around looking for those, just kind of building shit. I was really relaxed, to be honest. I really took the piss. I should have played the game more. But no, I thought it was fun. I totally forgot about the Cyclopses and building. So I was keeping my 2 remaining Cyclopses alive by using healing drones all the time, because I was these guys are badass. I want to keep them, and I got them really high up in veterancy and stuff. But I totally forgot you could just make more. I just never checked the barracks because I was building. I built a few Marines by if they obviously come out of your fire base. I totally forgot to even click on the barracks. I built it, I just didn't click on it.
That's funny.
And then once I realized that the vehicle you could build was only Warhogs, I was oh, this is useless. I didn't want Warhogs in this mission.
No, Warhogs are terrible. In this mission.
Yeah. I think generally they're probably pretty bad too.
They seem like it, but yeah.
It's just their speed you really want out of them.
They're just a scouting unit, really, here.
Yeah. Even, like, I don't like their ram ability because it takes too much of their own health off. So I
You're very vulnerable during the ram as well. Like, it takes a couple seconds to ramp up and then hit the person and then back up and then you have control of them again.
Right.
And you're taking hits the whole time of that. I don't know. What else? I kind of took the phrase. I took A first, and then I think that they immediately took B and C. Like, pretty fast, they took B and C. And I was like, oh, crap. And they started racking up the domination points, like, really fast. Like, faster than I was really expecting, because, like I said, I was kind of taking the piss a little bit. And I was like, I'll get to those control points, but eventually.
Yeah.
And then you know, the AI Isabel and Anders and Cutter all start showing me and going, we're losing the battle, we're losing. And I was like, oh shit.
You're like, but I'm doing so well.
Yeah, but I'm doing so well. But like, technically, like, you have loads of time when they start telling you that to like go and take these points and kind of take them back.
Yeah.
I didn't explore a lot of the kind of past the elevator. Do you know what I mean? I didn't go to, like, I know there's an area there. I figured there'd be a base and a lot of units. I kind of tested the waters a little bit, and I was like, no, I don't really need to go over there. So I kind of just took the 3 points and held them for like the last 5-10 minutes that I took to win the game, and there wasn't really any fighting happening. So it was just me building and messing around with the bases and stuff.
Sure.
They never came out and attacked again. But like on normal, like I said, Chris obviously had a much harder time with the fucking laser beam coming down.
Well, if you go and take out the main Banished base, like, they won't be there anymore. So that was when I did my high score run. That was my plan. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go take out that base, and then I'm just gonna go, and I'm not even gonna touch the control points, and then I'm just gonna win because they're not gonna be any bad guys anymore. I obviously modified that a little bit once I got it started, because the base is a bastard to take. And, you know, you can have all 80 count and send everybody up there, and it's got a shield up there, and it's got a bunch of turrets, and it's got a bunch of race, so if you poke your head over into that area, like, you'll get wrecked right away. So it takes a couple tries. You got to slowly chip away. So then I decided, okay, I'm going to go around and at least take out all the other foundries that produce the race. So I started to do that, and then I kind of slowly chipped away at the base. And I think what happened in the run was I ended up having a really big score, but then I allowed the Banished to take 2 points, knowing that I was still ahead, because I really wanted to get that main objective, to get the main base. So like, they were slowly creeping up on score to give me enough time to kind of, you know, continue to assault their main base. I finally took it down, and then once I took it down, I just went and grabbed one of the other points, and then I think they were creeping up on me. They hadn't overtaken my overscore, but they were getting close. So I just took B back, and then I finished it out from there. Any other notes? The archer missiles are pretty handy from time to time. I used those. One of the objectives is to use those 3 times, and, you know, there's a recharge on that. So try to use it when you need it, because then you're going to need it again when, you know, in a couple minutes when it finally recharges, and that comes in handy for taking over the Banished base. Chris, did you use archer missiles at all?
No, I didn't really use any of the Spirit of Fire abilities, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You didn't need to, because if you didn't go near the base, then you probably didn't really need it that much. I mean, they do send a couple big waves every once in a while, like a big group of Banished will show up and be like, oh crap, here we go. But David, how about you? Did you use that at all? Archer missiles?
I used it just the once.
Okay.
I tend to forget about leader powers a lot, but I was using the healing the most in this mission. I did get the hardened thing as well. I didn't really notice that much difference.
Yeah.
But the archer missions were cool. I will say that. I do think they are pretty good power. It's just a strafing attack in like a small kind of lane. So I think I took out. I think there was like some hunters on a raid and like 2 ghosts or something in like a perfect line, and I was just like, I know exactly what I'm doing here. And it was fun, and then I kind of totally forgot about it again.
One other note, I think if you guys remember on Halo Wars, there was one point where I think it was when you get a scarab. Remember when you, like, the first kid to capture the scarab? I forget what mission it is. But I remember in that playthrough, I had my Spartan. He was in a vehicle, and he couldn't get out of the vehicle, so I had to like go up to an area, and the vehicle needed to be destroyed, so he could pop out and then go take over the Scarab. So they fixed that now. You can actually unhijack a vehicle now.
Finally.
So you just use the same button that you use to hijack. You just select that unit, and then the Spartan will pop out of it. So I didn't do it. I don't know if the vehicle blows up or if it just sits there unoccupied or what, but that is an option finally. So that's good. Any other things to mention before the mission wraps, guys? Krista, anything else?
I think I'm good.
Yeah. The power nodes around the mission are important to get if you don't want to build a bunch of generators, so definitely grab those. I mean, that's kind of an ongoing thing. They're usually available. Did you grab any of those, David, the power nodes?
Yeah, I grabbed them all.
Okay, yeah. I think those are definitely handy. And then by the end of the mission, I didn't really need to worry about anything. I had plenty of supplies, had plenty of power, so I was good to go. The mission ends when you finally reach that 3,000 number. You finally dominate the map, and then Anders will kind of hustle out. She gets dropped off, and she'll hustle out and go onto the elevator, and then we'll find out what happens next. There are the 2 Phoenix logs. I think I might have mentioned them. So there's a Phoenix log right away, right before you cross the light bridge, and then there's another one located on the far right on a metal platform walkway. So it's kind of up by I think it's up by Control Point C is where you should find it. So there are 2 to grab. Any trivia to cover, David?
There is none.
Really?
0 trivias.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
nothing I could find on this mission.
All right. Well, that's easy.
Yeah.
Krista, how about your novels?
I got
How about
some
your
novels. I have
Yeah.
summarized the novels because I'm not reading
Good.
them.
Good for you.
So the first one is Turn of the Screw. It's by Palmer Nathaniel J., archaeologist, Lamb Research Center, 117-25-59, 117.
Oh.
So he's talking about it's been 2 months since the attack, and the survivor group is down to 8. Some disappeared after attempting to get back to the lab and reopen the portal to escape. Some died of dehydration and starvation, which he says now that there are less people in the group, it's a bit easier to survive because of less resources being taken up. The invaders, or the Banished, he doesn't know what their names are have set up shop on the Ark, and the survivors are not sure what to do next because they're kind of taken over.
Yeah, right.
So a survivor brewer decided to surrender, and so they never saw him again. They're like, all right, he's gone. The rest are just trying to find shelter and find somewhere to hide. They were thinking of hiding in the forest nearby, but they kept seeing strange shimmers in the trees. Ooh, spooky. So that's what up with him and his fucked up life. That sucks for him.
Yeah, that sucks for him. Can you imagine?
Yeah. And he was like so positive. He's like, oh man, everything's great.
Right.
Not so much anymore. The next one is Rise of Atriox Part 2. This is Oni Section 0, 11, 17, 25, 50, another 117. So DNS are discussing, those are their code names. So they're talking about this slow drive, codename Slow Drive. When Oni arrived at this particular outpost, all the Covenant were dead and the weapon and vehicles were gone. S mentions it might be Atriox, which they had heard about from the Grunt earlier, and it might be him and the Banished army kind of doing this stuff. Oni has observed similar occurrences, with Covenant weapons and vehicles being stolen using guerrilla tactics, and then Oni showing up and there being nothing to do. Oni wants to follow Atriox and the Banished more closely and use these raids to humanity's advantage, and maybe even come to some sort of agreement with him? Question mark?
That'd be a good idea.
No, it sounds like an awful idea. What are they thinking? And so those are my Phoenix logs.
Very nice. All right, let's do some community. Start on Facebook, David.
The Facebooks, we have Colin Perkins, the admin, June 23rd at 5:35 p.m. You discover your home contains a gateway to some super important Forerunner technology. Where is it, and what does it lead to? Question from Mission Debrief as it works to this mission. Richard Miller. The portal was in my fridge. It led directly to an In-N-Out Burger restaurant. I'm from the UK and we don't have them here. Cry emoji. I went to California some years ago and had one every day for 2 weeks. Amazing. I thought they were okay. I didn't. My friend Caleb brought me there.
Oh yeah.
Way back, and I thought it was good. It was good. We did the secret thing or the secret menu, animal style, whatever it is. I thought, yeah, it was pretty nice. Every day for 2 weeks. It was pretty hardcore. Well, like, I wouldn't eat it every day for 2 weeks, man. That's hardcore.
We don't have them here, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're like a coastal thing, aren't they? They're like a
California. I think maybe in Texas too.
California. I think. Lucas says it was the closet behind my AC unit because no one needs it except when my AC is broken. It's a portal to all theme parks in the world because I really don't like driving to Busch Gardens. Better than Disney fighting.
Oh shit! Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah, there you go.
Fighting words shit. There. Busch Gardens does not have magic. It has terrifying roller coasters. Shikra is the most terrifying thing I've ever laid my eyes on. Jesus Christ! How could you ride that?
Storm says in my Harry Potter closet, that's in my kitchen where it leads to installation 04. Matthew says located in the hill behind my dad's property is a cave which is not a natural formation. This leads to a chasm where there's a gravity lift that takes you down to a Forerunner portal that will transport you to a sealed room on a rocky asteroid at the very edge of the galactic rim. Inside this room you will find a lockbox. Opening this box you will find a piece of paper. When a piece of paper is flipped over you will see a solitary Forerunner glyph. What is this glyph, you may ask? It's the shape of an alien hand with a thumb and forefinger touching tips with 3 more digits spread out like the tail feathers of a peacock. Thank you, Matt.
Oh shit.
That was it?
That's it.
That was a fun surprise at the end.
It's quite a story.
Yes.
Some bloke named Trenton says under Krista's new gaming desk and it leads to the slipspace cave.
That's where George is. He's in the slipspace cave.
That's where George is, yeah. Patrick says it's in my childhood woods. It leads to another portal to an alternate universe. They're Halo CE, so I can fight alongside the chief. Jason says a false wall in my bathroom that leads to an energy plant fueled from the scared kid screams. And he has a picture of the Monsters Inc.
Oh shit! Oh, okay.
That's where he's going with that.
Yeah. Oh,
I was
we're
a little
gonna
worried.
get demonetized.
Not as dark as you thought. And finally, John Phoenix, portals. Oh no, I bet it takes me to Disney Universe.
Hey.
Disney Universe. That's the new one, right?
Maybe?
It's like there's a universe. There's a Disney University like.
Oh, okay.
That you can go to and learn things, and then also work in the parks.
Krista, what did the Discord have to say about this
Horrible,
question?
terrible things. Matt says, in the crawl space under the master bedroom, there's a portal that leads to the Ark that the Covenant don't know about. Unfortunately, it's the Greater Ark, so if you go through, you'll end up floating in space debris. Chloe, who's changed her name to something in kanji, which I can't read kanji, unfortunately.
God damn it, Chloe.
She says behind the water heater, and it leads to the secret archive of trashy Forerunner romance novels. I'll take the Guilty Spark ones, please.
Yep.
General Eggman, he's my general to my army. He says between my bookshelves, and it leads to the Halo Mega constructs that are always out of stock for some reason.
That's so sad.
Big Boy,
Hurts my heart.
I know. Big Boy DeZudo says in the downstairs toilet, you have to flush yourself there. It leads to a secret Forerunner treasure deep inside Uranus, a mysterious booty, aka BB. UNSC Brexit says it's in my storm shelter, and it leads to the librarian and Didact's sex dungeon. Very nice.
Ooh.
I want to see what a Forerunner sex dungeon looks like. How do they even do that?
What's all involved in that?
I don't know. Merc White says, pass through the portal in a weird crawl space under the tub, and it will lead you to Halo Infinite gameplay and early access. Oh my god, can I come over? I would crawl under there for that. Jedi Spartan 38 says it's disguised as a TV and leads to a Forerunner shield world. But it only activates when the Earth seems to be incredibly close to World War III, so you have somewhere to escape when shit hits the fan, I suppose. King Bigbeard says, in a grave you will be teleported to the long night of Solace where a skeleton of George's armor is floating, and then you find Todd Howard. He's going to sell you a copy of Skyrim for the Wii. Oh no, Todd Howard, why? Barlet King says, in a cigar box, after you light the cigar, it activates a portal that takes you to Sergeant Johnson's secret hiding place. You mean the Slipspace Cave.
Yeah, he's there too.
And then Knight Reyna says, she's my knight in my army. She says, in the attic, it takes me to the Forerunners community pool. Oh. Do they have to take off their armor to go swimming? I was supposed so.
That's a good question.
Is their armor buoyant? I need these answers, 343. What is the
water resistant?
Yeah, Jeff. What does the Forerunner community pool look like? I know you have a picture of it. All right, that's it for Discord. Thank you for listening to nonsense, I suppose.
Absolutely. So I was feeling saucy, and I decided to post this great question on the Twitters.
What?
Got some responses, but it's my responsibility.
Yeah.
To read these.
You can't make David and I do more work. How dare you?
My responsibility.
How dare you?
All right, I'll run through these quick. I will go. See what Twitter works for most recent on the top, or is it just jumble them all together? I don't know. All right, we'll start from the top. So Sal, our buddy Sal, says, the portal is my gaming TV, and it leads to the domain.
Oh, shit.
From where I can teleport to any Forerunner installation, Halos, Shield Worlds, etc. Actually, you think about it, it's kind of true. Hey. He's got a point.
Yo, you want to have a game night? I want to come over and do that.
Yeah. He's got LAN parties.
I know he
does.
It's been a while, though, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Matt Salvatore, our buddy Matt from Builds with Blocks, he says the portal is located in his wardrobe, and it leads to wherever the Master Chief is located.
Oh, shit. You can really be a stalker, then.
Narnia. He's got a Narnia gif in there.
Fuck.
Orion the Elder says the portal leads to the Didact's fridge, whereupon I proceed to steal all his beer.
What kind of beer would Forerunners drink?
I don't know. It'd be like 20%. You need a lot.
They're big boys. They're very tall and giant.
Mm-hmm.
No, I bet they're lightweights.
You think so?
Yeah, I reckon Forerunners are total lightweights.
Do they just drink a lot, but like light beer?
No, I bet it wouldn't take a lot to get a Forerunner.
Even with just normal beer.
There's like no fat on them?
Yeah. They're too high and mighty, you know, they don't have a tolerance. They think they, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's beneath them.
That's true.
And you give them a little something, and just go straight.
They just go wacky.
They don't have that Irish gene. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the special
yes.
Irish gene. I don't have
There's
that
the
either.
Irish
I'm
pride.
a lightweight.
All right, Spartan 9051 Didact storage room. Now I have the Didact's bike. He stole his bike.
Oh shit.
Dr. Cretio, or Cretio, however you want to say it, to the Mathrillion, so I can learn all the Forerunner stuffs.
I want to learn all the Forerunner stuffs.
That'd be a good place to
me
do it.
Too.
Axel Tiffer says, I feel like responding on Twitter today.
Axel.
Axel is responding on Twitter today. He says, it's in my toilet, and it takes me to an advanced water processing plant that separates wastewater from water to molecular levels, thus recycling water and making it pure for consumption. The waste then is disintegrated to the atomic level, therefore avoiding any kind of pollution. I've been thinking a lot about how we impact the climate.
Very nice.
Very specific answer.
Yeah, we hit him on the...
But socially responsible.
It is.
Thank you.
Then the last one is Good Guy Harps. He says, my closet, and it leads to wherever the fuck they hid Mendicant Bias, so I can make him help us.
Hell yeah.
I think they hit him on the Ark, didn't they?
I think they did, but who knows? That guy's crazy.
We'll find out. All right. That will do it for our debriefing of the Ascension mission from Halo Wars 2. On the next episode, we'll be covering 130. Who's that? Is that Alice?
I think so, yeah.
That's Alice.
I like her. She's a lady.
We're going to hang out with Alice next mission. Send us your thoughts at podcastevolved@gmail.com or drop us a tweet. Podcast Evolved on Twitter. You can also support the show by visiting Podcast Evolved on Patreon. And don't forget about that free audiobook trial. Visit audibletrial.com/podcast evolved. Until next time, evolve.
Evolve.
Evolve.